Hello and welcome to tonight's LOL Esports Roundup. We're going to cover the games that will take place tomorrow at Worlds 2023 Swiss stage. If you'd like my predictions, I'm 8-5 through Worlds so far. Those will be in the members only tier. All of that stuff is on the Discord. I also have kept track of my predictions throughout all of the year, spring and summer splits included, if you want to look at those. Start us off T1 TL. Last time they played, MSI 2019. Two players remain from those two games. T1 won both in Rumble stage. Faker went 13-0-9 into Jensen. Core JJ went 1-8-4 as support for TL. That was Doublelift Core into Teddy Mata. After that, C9 Mad Lions. Last time they played, MSI 2021. They would split 1-1. Carry-oriented meta that time for jungle. Blabber went 11, 7, and 18, 31% of damage in the games. Elyoya 13, 5, 15, and only 20% of damage. So it goes to show you how important each jungler were to their team when it came to damage. I mean, Blabber was dealing carry-oriented damage. Elyoya still very high for a jungler. And Elyoya actually was ahead at 15 minutes in the matchup. 677 gold, 7 CS, 237 XP. Obviously, different time, different meta, but nonetheless, Elyoya did get the better of him across those two games. Gen.G and GAM Esports, they have never played, even when one was Samsung and the other one was Gigabyte Marines. It did not happen. But Peanut and Levi have crossed paths before. The junglers have played against each other just once, they played against each other at MSI 2017. I believe it was in the Rumble stage. Levi on Gigabyte Marines and Peanut on T1. Peanut, I think, would win both games, but he went 24, 3, and 14 with 22% of the team's damage. Levi, carry-oriented then, just like he is now, 12, 11, and 4, 25% of his team's damage. In that matchup, Peanut got the better of Levi, ahead 1,600 gold, but 1 CS and down 510 XP. Obviously, that was 100 years ago when it comes to league terms, but it is something to look back at. There is no other matchups in a setting that I think is worthy of talking about in this video when it comes to, players playing against each other. If they played against each other in Asian games or whatever, I thought that was a Mickey Mouse tournament. That's that. Sneak peek JDG BDS. There is nothing to go off of here. The players have not crossed paths. The teams have not crossed paths. So a little blurb about this game that I'm interested in. Do JDG come out flat? I think there's a good chance of that. Is it better than 50-50? No. But I do think if BDS do win and JDG just look off, it's not going to be because BDS won necessarily. It's going to be because JDG lost. So if JDG look like they're playing very good and BDS somehow beat them, then in my opinion, BDS beat them. But that's kind of how I'm going to view that one, because JDG haven't played for a while. BDS have been playing in play-ins. The same thing's going to go for GAM against Gen.G, but I don't think the gap is as... the gap in this one's bigger than that one. G2 Dplus. Last time they played, last Worlds, Dplus would win both games. Mid lane matchup. Showmaker, Deathless, 11-0-10, 26% of damage. Caps, 165, 19% of damage in the loss. Showmaker also dominated laning phase, up over 1,300 gold, 17 CS, and nearly 650 XP. So a bit of a diffy there in the mid lane when it came to that matchup. NRG Weibo, another matchup that we have nothing to go off of. So, NRG beat teams with winning records. They didn't beat teams with losing records. Weibo has a winning record. Now, Weibo could flip tails and still win, I think. So, that's a thing. But, that's the angle. Weibo has to flip tails. NRG have to play better than they have to somehow get this one done, because even in the LCS, NRG were not winning in the early game, and against a team like Weibo, I don't know how you're going to hands diff them. Fnatic LNG, they've never played against each other, but Humanoid Scout have last Worlds. In Humanoid, actually, 4-4-2, 40% of Fnatic's damage in those games. That is a lot of fucking damage. 40% is a high number. Scout, 6-3-12, 21% of damage in the loss. In the games. And they won both. Now, EDG are better than Fnatic, so is that why he's dealing more damage? Could be true. When you look at the laning phases, though, and I mentioned this in yesterday's video, Humanoid won laning phase by 292 gold, 21 CS, and 760 XP on average. That is a lot. You know, people like to argue with me that Humanoid stinks. I think he's a pretty good laner, and stats like this kind of indicate that. And then lastly, BLG KT. They've never played against each other, but Aiming and Elk have 9 times. Elk winning 7 of the 9 games in 2021 in the LPL. They played a best of 3 at LPL 2021 playoffs. Aiming was with BLG at the time, ironically enough, and Elk was with Team Wii. Elk had Missing as his support. Aiming had PP God. Zeka also was on Aiming's team. So those are some, callbacks to interesting players. In the 3-0 win for Elk, he went 19-4-32, 33% of damage, and Aiming did his job, going 8-8-9, 34% of damage in the loss. So I wouldn't blame Aiming for that without looking at the series. I think Aiming statistically kept up. His DPM was like 100 DPM less, which across 40 minutes, it's 4,000 DPM damage difference, which is a diffy. But given his KDA, it's hard to imagine that he was the reason why BLG lost that one. So, yeah, so that's it for the preview for tomorrow and the sneak peek. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube supporter, and hope to see you again tomorrow.